As soon as the woman returned home, she saw her husband, who had been missing for 20 years. Just as she was about to step forward and hug him, she was stopped by the mistress standing beside him. It turned out the husband had long had children with another woman, and the purpose of his return this time was to divorce the wife who had always loved him. It turned out that the man and the mistress's daughter was about to marry the younger brother of the richest man. To avoid the child being looked down upon as an illegitimate daughter, the man decided to divorce his wife today, so he forced the woman to press her fingerprint on the divorce papers. But what the man didn't know was that the powerful figure he sought to cling to was actually the woman's son-in-law. Back when the man left home, the woman was already pregnant, and she was carrying triplets. Now, all 3 daughters were married. The eldest son-in-law was a billionaire, the richest man. The second son-in-law was a famous superstar in the entertainment industry. The third son-in-law was the owner of the largest martial arts academy in town. Moreover, all 3 sons-in-law were very filial to the woman. They originally wanted her to settle in the city, but the woman, longing for her husband's return, insisted on living alone back in the countryside. Unexpectedly, after 20 years of absence, the husband came back only to force her to divorce. He even wanted to kick the woman out of the house. Helpless, the woman tearfully called her son-in-law, the richest man, asking him to bring her back to the city, but her choking voice made the richest man sense that something was wrong. Soon after, all 3 sons-in-law came to bring her home. Through investigation, the richest man quickly found out that the people bullying his mother-in-law were the parents of his younger brother's fiancée. To avenge the woman, the richest man told his brother that he would host a banquet and asked him to bring his fiancée's family along. Upon hearing the news, the fiancée's family was overjoyed, thinking they had gained the richest man's favor. Little did they know, it was merely the richest man's way of taking revenge. Soon, the man arrived at the banquet with his mistress. They were stunned by the luxurious scene at the entrance. Before they could react, the richest man's car pulled up at the entrance. The mistress, realizing what was happening, urged the man to open the car door. Unexpectedly, it was the woman who stepped out of the car. The man was dumbfounded at the sight. He immediately questioned his wife about why she was there. Before the woman could speak, the mistress began mocking her, saying that a country bumpkin like her didn't deserve to be in such a fancy place. The woman calmly stated that she was there to attend the banquet, but the mistress didn't believe her, claiming outright that she was just a vegetable vendor at the market. Hearing this, even the nearby guests looked down on the woman. However, the woman believed that selling vegetables was nothing to be ashamed of. Unexpectedly, the man felt humiliated by her. Without another word, he left with the mistress. Just then, the 3 sons-in-law called. They said they were stuck in traffic and told the woman to wait for them inside the banquet hall so she wouldn't catch a cold outside. So after hanging up, the woman went inside. At that moment, the mistress was flaunting her identity at the banquet, immediately drawing everyone's admiration. Just then, the woman entered the hall. Everyone's eyes were drawn to her. Someone immediately noticed that her clothes were worth a fortune. Everyone began guessing that the woman's identity must be extraordinary, but the mistress exposed the woman's identity in public. She bluntly said that the woman was her husband's ex-wife and a vegetable seller. She even accused her of having 3 children with another man during their marriage. The woman refuted her accusations, saying she was talking nonsense, but the mistress wouldn't back down. She even ordered security to throw the woman out. As the woman struggled, her handbag accidentally fell. The mistress quickly went to check and found a photo of the woman with her 3 daughters. In order to get her photo back, the woman agreed to the mistress's demand to divorce the man. But the mistress wasn't satisfied. She even demanded the woman kneel and beg. Otherwise, she would tear up the photo. Seeing that the woman refused to kneel, the mistress tore up the photo right in front of her. Seeing the pieces on the ground, the woman was heartbroken. She decided to fight back hard. She declared that the banquet was held for her by her son-in-law. Anyone who dared touch her would bear the consequences. But the mistress thought she was joking too far. Even the man thought she was making a fool of herself. he ordered her to be thrown out. Just as they were arguing, the richest man's younger brother arrived at the scene. The man immediately started complaining to the younger brother, saying the woman was a fraud and should be kicked out. But when the younger brother learned that she was his elder brother's mother-in-law, he hesitated. But thinking that his brother's mother-in-law must be someone powerful, he thought it impossible that she could be the woman before him. So, he still ordered her to be thrown out. Meanwhile, the woman's 3 sons-in-law arrived at the entrance of the banquet. But as soon as they got out of the car, a waiter told them that the woman was being bullied inside. The 3 were furious when they heard this. They immediately rushed to the banquet hall, and just in time, they rescued the woman. They called the woman Mom, right in front of everyone. The mistress was shocked to hear this. She quickly claimed it was all a misunderstanding. Both she and the man hoped the richest man would forgive them. But the woman, after hearing this, had no intention of letting them off. 2 brothers went to attend their grandfather's funeral. Unexpectedly, their grandmother asked them to open mystery boxes at the scene, because before he passed away, their grandfather had instructed that in order to inherit the company, they must each choose a mystery box. Whoever gets more green wooden tokens will be the final winner, and will have the right to become the president of the corporation. Although neither of them understood why their grandfather did this, they still wanted to become the company president, so each of them chose one of the mystery boxes. Before the game began, their grandmother said only one thing: often what determines victory or defeat lies outside the game itself. Just as she finished speaking, the cousin was the first to check his tokens. When he saw that all 3 were green, he secretly rejoiced, but the man just glanced at his tokens and hurriedly closed the box in panic. Seeing this, the cousin believed he was sure to win, so he placed his watch on the table, saying that if the man revealed green tokens, the watch would be his, but only if the man offered something of equal value as collateral. Hearing this, the man instantly got angry. He said the cousin was gambling, because their grandfather hated gambling most of all, but the cousin replied that this wasn't gambling, it was one of the rules outside the game, as their grandmother mentioned. He even mocked the man for being incompetent and unqualified to fight for the inheritance. The man was not convinced when he heard this. He turned to their grandmother and said this was unfair, but before the grandmother could speak, the cousin mocked the man again. The man became furious. He immediately took off his own watch, saying he was ready to compete with the cousin. Seeing this, the grandmother added another rule. Before this incense stick burns out, the 2 of you must decide the winner. Otherwise, neither of you will get the inheritance. After saying that, she told them to continue the competition. However, the cousin looked down on the man's watch. He said his own watch was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If the man couldn't produce something of equal value, then he would be considered the loser. At this point, even the man's wife tried to persuade him to give up, but the man explained to his wife the cousin was betting, because he must have red tokens in his box. That's why he was using the luxury watch to pressure him. He wasn't going to fall for it. Even the relatives nearby sided with the cousin, mocking the man as a broke loser. Even the uncle, who always cared for the man, told him to give up. After all, he couldn't win against the cousin. Looking at the cousin's arrogant face, the man refused to back down. He directly put up his only car as collateral. Then he urged the cousin, "Can we open the boxes now?" But the cousin wanted to defeat the man thoroughly and wasn't planning to let him off. He knew the man had limited assets, so he made another bet and had someone bring $1 million in cash. The man and his wife were dumbfounded when they saw this. Unexpectedly, the cousin's father stepped forward to object, saying that money was for a construction project and he didn't agree to let his son gamble with it. But the cousin was confident he would win and said it was just pocket change, telling his father not to worry. Then arrogantly asked the man, "Still going on?" It was only then that the man realized the cousin was setting a trap for him. He knew the man had no money and was forcing him into a corner. Seeing the man silent, the cousin told him to sign a waiver for the inheritance and kneel to apologize. Then he'd let him go. When the man refused, the cousin gave him no mercy. Even the relatives who liked to flatter the powerful told the man to kneel and apologize. Just as the man didn't know what to do, his wife directly put up the keys to their new house. The man immediately understood what his wife meant, but his mother stood up and objected. She didn't want her son to go on. but the man ignored his mother's objection and insisted on continuing. Even the grandmother couldn't stand watching anymore. If this went on, the man would lose everything. So she told him to apologize to the cousin and keep his property, but the man felt very wronged. All these years, his family had always been oppressed by the cousin. He insulted his family and even hired people to beat him. This time, he would not back down again. He must fight for his family's dignity. After saying that, he declared his bet was $200,000 higher than the cousin's. If the cousin wanted to continue, he had to match it. Otherwise, he would be the loser. But the cousin scoffed at a mere $200,000. He was about to bet his villa. But, unexpectedly, he forgot to bring the keys. Just when he thought he was done for, his wife showed up just in time to save him. But the woman was still a bit worried. If her husband lost, they would become completely broke. But the cousin confidently declared he would win. He even showed his wife the color of his wooden tokens. Seeing this, the wife bet the villa keys and added her Mercedes-Benz. At this point, the man was still short $2.6 million. If he couldn't make it up, he would completely lose. Even everything on the table would belong to the cousin. Just as everyone was mocking that the man would lose miserably, the man made a phone call and borrowed $2.6 million. According to the agreement, the two could now open their boxes. But when the man opened his box, everyone was shocked.